Hey everybody, we're back. We're Shonda here and Jamard with Let's Talk Marriage. We hope everybody is doing well tonight.
Absolutely, and we missed y'all. We had fun in our last session where we kind of just introduced ourselves, and we got a lot of good feedback from that. Yes. So we definitely appreciate that. Absolutely. Thank you for your connections and for liking our page
and sharing
it. Absolutely. So thank you so much for that. And we told you last time that we get together today and talk about communication as it relates to marriage and relationships altogether. So we want to kind of just delve into that, Shonda.
Yeah, and I guess one of the bullets that we have for that is making time to communicate. We know that everybody is busy, or we say we're busy, but we all have the same amount of time, 24 hours in a day. So you can set aside 10, 15 minutes just to communicate with your spouse, with your husband, with your wife. Just make it important. Make it an important time.
Well, I'll say I got to be completely honest. When things are important to us, we do it. And I don't think that communicating is not important to us, but I think that we just forget how important it is and how it helps. We make some assumptions sometimes. And this thing right here that I'm holding in my hand,
down.
This can be an enemy of communication, which is totally ironic because it was designed to help with communication, but it can really be an enemy to communication when we allow it to. Sometimes you've got to just make that time where you put away all of your devices, your iPads, your iPhones, your turn off the TV, get off the laptop, and just really have that one-on-one time with each other. The ironic thing is that when we were dating, when most couples were dating, you made time to make things like that happen. Like even if you had to talk on the phone 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning,
not saying anything,
not even saying anything,
just breathing,
right, listening to each other breathe, we would do that because we wanted that person to know. I wanted Sean to know that, hey, I want you, and you. There you go. So yeah, absolutely, I wanted her to know it, so I would take the time to do that, and so. We still have to find ways to communicate that. That was what made your spouse interested when you were dating, and you still have to make time to show that they are important to you, that your spouse is important to you.
Right, and I just want to say that communication can actually create bonds and connections just with your spouse. It allows you to become closer. You can share your dreams, your goals. I know there have been several times that if I had not asked Jamard, well, what's going on about this, or how do you feel about this, or what's this plan, then I wouldn't even know like some of his goals or his dreams or his pains.
Right, and so yeah, I've learned from that to be more open about the visions that I have for this family and about my dreams and my personal aspirations, which has in turn made Shonda more comfortable with sharing her dreams and her aspirations. What? I'm boring you? Am I good? I was just checking, make sure I'm good. But no, with sharing my dreams, make her more comfortable with sharing her dreams and her aspirations. But not just that, even our pains, because I think it's important that we know even the things that have hurt us and that have been heartache to us, because it's not until we understand where we've been that you can really know where you are in terms of your relationship. Some of the things won't even make sense to you. The way your spouse responds to certain situations or reacts to certain things won't even make sense unless you know some of the things that they've experienced, and then you can better assess where your relationship can go from there.
You need some water?
I'm okay.
Okay, just checking.
Appreciate it.
All right. So another point that is kind of important, or we think is relevant, is you have to know, I guess, when to leave your spouse alone, or
Can I get this one?
Do you have something to say about that?
No, that's a good one though. But no, you go ahead and make your point.
Just know when to back off. Because I think it's safe to say in our relationship that I'm the one that will probably initiate the most conversation in most cases, right?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I'm not much of a talker. I talk a lot in this kind of presentation, but I'm not much of a talker. But absolutely. I know I've been guilty. I'm picking at Shonda, but really I've been guilty too. Like, say for instance, she might not be feeling well, or I might think she's not feeling well, and I'm like all over, like, hey, what's wrong? Is everything okay? What did you eat today? Have you taken any medicine? What's going on? And she's just kind of like, no, I'm fine. Or vice versa. I may come home from work and she's like, well, how was work? And I'm just kind of like, it was fine. I work a 10-hour shift. So when I come home from work, sometimes I'm pretty exhausted. And so I'm probably kind of dry at first. And so she works with me and we work through that. But so yeah, she'll ask, how was work? And I'm like, it was fine. And then she might just kind of keep pushing. And I'm like, it was fine. No, really, it was fine. And then that can even build to, what is it? Why don't you want to talk to me? You know what is it? Why didn't you want to talk to me? I'm your wife. What is this about? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Everything is fine. I just came home from work. Give me a minute. So yeah, that's certainly one thing to keep in mind. And you might not even realize how important that is. But it's important for us, to know when to just kind of back off. I think, guys, sometimes, we like to go into our man caves and kind of do our thing, and that's fine. And I think it's important, ladies, that you allow that to happen. But then, guys, I think it's also important for us to understand what our spouse needs, and get back in there. Limit the time that we're in that man cave so that we can make some things happen. And I feel like I'm rambling, so I'm gonna stop talking.
Basically, I guess just to sum that up a little bit, just know when to just give your spouse a little bit of space, a little bit of room. It is okay to, and I guess that's all a part of communication as well, knowing when to do it and when to not do it.
Right.
So yeah, that's another bullet that we thought was important. And then another is, don't try to make your spouse into you. Like, I have my way of communicating, Jamard has his way of communicating, and vice versa. In your relationships as well.
You have to know when to back away, when to push through, and when to back away, so that you can make the most out of your relationship.
Yeah, let them talk to you the way that they know how to talk to you, or communicate to you the way that they know how to communicate, and you continue to do it your way. And then, eventually they'll start to mesh together, and you'll both understand each other and the way that each other can communicate to.
You were talking about that, and Shonda, and that kind of reminded me of that book, The 5 Love Languages. I think a lot of people have read it. If you read it, I encourage you to read it again. If you haven't read it, then I would definitely encourage you to read it, because married couples and even unmarried people, I think it just helps to improve relationships overall. But to Shonda's point, the author Gary Chapman talks about love languages and how people communicate, or how they expect to be communicated to. He talks about, quality time, receiving gifts, words of affection, physical touch, acts of service. All of those is speaking directly to what Shonda just talked about. People have different ways of expecting communication, or of even communicating. And so we have to know how to speak the right language, because you may be offering your spouse words of affection and they may not really respond well to that. They may want, some physical touches, you know what I'm saying?
Or a gift.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Or a gift, that's fine.
Or quality time.
Or quality time.
Yeah.
But okay, so we're gonna talk more about physical touches later. But so anyway, I definitely encourage you to read the book. She's embarrassed now. I love it. I encourage you to read the book, and I hope that you've enjoyed our time today. And I hope that something that we said might encourage you to maybe make some adjustments or do more of some things that you may not have been doing, or less of some things that you may have been doing too much of. I know certainly even in talking about it, it's helped to communicate. It's helped us in our communication, wouldn't you say?
Definitely.
So we hope to be back with you in a couple of weeks, probably.
Yeah.
And we've got some more great things in store for you. This has been Jamar and Rashonda, and Let's Talk Marriage.